Part 1. The Forbidden Path. It was a foggy autumn evening when a group of teenagers, driven by curiosity and a dare, ventured into the Whispering Woods. Legends surrounded the forest. Locals said it was cursed, its dense trees hiding secrets no one should uncover. Whispers of lost souls and chilling cries were said to echo through the trees. But Emily, the boldest of the group, scoffed at the stories. "They're just old wives' tales. Ghosts aren't real," she declared confidently, her flashlight cutting through the fog. "Still," whispered Jake, the cautious one, "we shouldn't ignore the warnings. People have disappeared here." "Come on, Jake," Emily teased. "What's the worst that could happen?" Reluctantly, Jake, Mia, and Chris followed her deeper into the woods. The air grew colder, and an eerie silence replaced the natural sounds of the forest. The deeper they went, the more the trees seemed to close in, their gnarled branches reaching out like skeletal hands. But to the first sign. "Did you hear that?" Mia whispered, clutching Chris's arm. The group froze. A faint whispering sound floated through the air, though no one could pinpoint its source. It wasn't wind. It was too deliberate, too Silence covered the room. The whisper became a maze of liquid tensing. At someone playing a game. "Probably just the wind," Emily said, her voice less confident now. As they pressed on, the whispers grew louder, forming indistinct words. "Turn back," they seemed to say. Tarstran pondered. Is there some sort of device? Jake stopped in his tracks. "Guys, this isn't funny anymore. Let's leave." But Emily shook her head. "We've come this far. Besides, what's that?" She pointed to a faint glow ahead. They moved cautiously toward the light, finding an old, decrepit cabin surrounded by overgrown vines. Its windows were shattered, and the wooden door hung ajar. "We shouldn't go in," Chris warned. "Scared, Chris?" Emily challenged, pushing the door open. Inside, the air was heavy with the scent of decay. The floor creaked under their feet as they explored. On a dusty table lay an ancient book with strange symbols etched into its cover. "Don't touch it," Jake said quickly. But Emily ignored him, flipping it open. The pages were filled with incomprehensible text and crude drawings of tortured figures. As she read aloud, a gust of icy wind swept through the cabin, extinguishing their flashlights. Part 3. The Darkness Awakens. Panic set in as the room plunged into darkness. The whispers returned, louder and more insistent. They now clearly said, "You shouldn't have come. Leave now." "Emily, what did you do?" Mia cried. No. No. Before anyone could respond, a shadowy figure materialized in the corner of the room. Its eyes glowed red, and its elongated limbs seemed to stretch unnaturally. "Run!" Jake screamed. The group bolted from the cabin, but the forest seemed different. The path they had come from was gone, replaced by endless rows of trees. The whispers turned into agonized screams surrounding them. "We're trapped!" Chris yelled. The shadowy figure reappeared, this time blocking their path. Its voice boomed. "You are warned. Now you will stay. Forever." Part 4. A Desperate Bargain. Emily stepped forward, trembling but defiant. "It's my fault. I opened the book. Take me, but let them go." The figure seemed to consider her words, its glowing eyes narrowing. "A knife for a lie," it said. "No, Emily," Jake protested. But before he could stop her, the shadow engulfed Emily, and she vanished into the darkness. The forest fell silent, and the path home reappeared. Jake, Mia, and Chris ran without looking back, finally breaking free of the woods. Part 5. The Moral. The next morning they returned with the police, but the cabin was gone, and so was Emily. All that remained was the eerie silence of the forest. The whispering woods became a cautionary tale once more. The group learned the hard way to respect the unknown. Curiosity might lead to discovery, but blind defiance of warnings can awaken forces better left undisturbed. Moral: some doors are meant to stay closed. Respect the boundaries set by the unknown, for ignorance can be safer than knowledge.